All right, let's do this. Welcome back to the Post-Production Podcast, everyone. I'm your host, Christy Verbrugge Post, and if this is your first time here, a very warm welcome to you. This is a space where we talk about all things business in the UAE, but more specifically Abu Dhabi. We cover the wins, the struggles, and everything in between. Now, as I mentioned last week, I'm taking a little time off, but I didn't want to leave you without something to listen to. So today we're doing something a little different. This is a short and snappy episode where I'll be sharing some of the books and podcasts that have actually helped me as an entrepreneur. If you've ever Googled best business books, you've probably been bombarded with a list full of books, right? And you have to wonder if they're all basically saying the same thing. And I don't know about you, but I really don't have time to read just for the sake of reading. So the books that I'm sharing today are the ones that have actually helped make a real difference in how I approach my business. All right, let's get into it. For my book recommendations, I am going to start with This I Know by Terry O'Reilly. Here's why I think it's worth reading. This book is all about marketing through storytelling, and Terry is a master at it. Terry is a fairly well-known Canadian radio personality. He's been in the advertising industry for decades, and he loves to share all of his experiences through really captivating stories. This book is about his own journey in the advertising industry and all the insights that he's picked up along the way. It has changed how I think about branding, messaging, and connecting with an audience. Those who know me well would say that I loathe the idea of selling, opting more for providing value and fostering lasting relationships instead. And this book is great at teaching you just how to achieve that. Through these good insights, you'll learn how to market your business in a way that's sustainable and non-icky feeling. If you feel like marketing is overwhelming, this book makes it feel fun and accessible. My second recommendation is Start With Why by Simon Sinek. I think it's worth reading this book because it forces you to dig deep and helps you nail down why you're actually doing what you do. And in turn, you can use that to communicate your business to a variety of audiences. With its insightful content, this book helped me refine my own messaging. So if you've ever struggled with standing out in your industry, this book might give you a fresh perspective. Number 3. The Let Them Theory by Robbins. While this book is more mindset focused, I think it's worth reading because it's really important, especially for entrepreneurs. The idea is that you should let people think what they want. Let them doubt you. Let them underestimate you because it's not your job to convince them otherwise. If you've spent too much time or energy worrying about what people think, this book is sure to be a game changer. And Mel Robbins really has a down-to-earth style that I appreciate. My fourth recommendation is How to ADHD by Jessica McCabe. Even if you don't have ADHD, this book is brilliant for entrepreneurs because it's all about productivity, focus, and working with your brain instead of against it. It's helped me understand my own workflow better and gave me practical tools to stay organized without feeling overwhelmed. My fifth recommendation is When in the Arab World by Rana Nejem. If you're running a business in the UAE, understanding cultural nuances is so important, and this is why I think this book is worth reading. This book has given me so much insight into general cultural and business etiquette, communication styles, and relationship building in the region. If you're working with clients, suppliers, or partners in the Arab world, this is a must-read. My podcast recommendations are, number 1, Under the Influence by Terry O'Reilly. I know I'm loving on Terry a lot today. This is the podcast version of the show that Terry has been running on the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, or CBC Radio for short, for over a decade. It's basically a lighthearted masterclass in marketing and advertising, but in story form. Every episode has a theme, and the content is engaging and sometimes really amusing. There's always something to glean from it, whether it's just an interesting tidbit of advertising history or information that you can take and apply immediately to your business approach. Every episode is packed with real-world examples, and I always walk away with a new idea or fresh perspective or good advertising anecdote to share at parties. My second podcast recommendation is You Might Not Like It by Laura Kelly. This one is a little less businessy and a lot more real talk about entrepreneurship and personal growth. I appreciate how honest and raw Laura is. She talks about the messy middle of business and not just the highlight reel. And so I draw a lot of inspiration from Laura's podcast for the post-production podcast. If you want a refreshingly unfiltered take on running a business, this podcast is a great listen, but full disclosure, this podcast contains some explicit content, so listeners' discretion is advised. All right, those are my top book and podcast recommendations. And by the way, if audiobooks are more your thing like they are for me, then you're in luck because all of the books that I've listed here are also available in audiobook format. I hope you found something in this list that piques your interest. Whether you pick up a book or queue up a podcast, I promise these will give you real value and not just business fluff. I'd really like to hear from you. What's a book or podcast that has made an impact in how you approach your own business philosophy? DM me on Instagram at postscript.ae and let's talk about it. And of course, please don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss next week's episode. All right, that's it for me today. Thanks for hanging out. I'll catch you next time. And as always, please keep moving forward one messy step at a time. Bye.